And you're going expert, right? Just making sure.
Dude, I am an expert.
He says, oh, did he just break off? He just broke you off, bro.
We don't need to.
He just broke you off, bro.
Fishing. Something mankind has done for survival and sport for as long as humans had the concept of writing things down for historical accuracy. It's something so many people flock to, whether it's catching the world's smallest perch or going hands-on like we do here in Oklahoma, the noodling capital of the world where we grab catfish that could swallow your dog whole. No, seriously, we have catfish here that you literally have to wrestle to the surface while they're hiding in a hole, protecting their eggs. It's pretty insane. But today, we're taking a look at probably the coolest, most relaxing game I've came across that is strictly for standalone. And by strictly, I don't mean that it's not on PC VR, but the PC VR version has basically been ditched at this point, and there's no point in even trying it out. But more on that later, because before I have anything negative to share, I do want to emphasize just how much this game has going for it, because it's kind of ridiculous to think that all of this is being done again on a standalone mobile device, and I can only imagine that new hardware like the upcoming Quest Pro or whatever it's called is going to be able to take advantage of scenery like this, which is the first thing that jumped out to me. The views, they're just absolutely stunning. Photorealistic backgrounds with just the right amount of fake to keep you grounded in the fact that you're obviously not really in a boat. But just as I was starting to play the game, I started to realize it was missing something. And at first I couldn't really figure out what it was, but it didn't take me long to realize that sitting down for hours at a time, fake fishing was only going to get me so far, and probably wouldn't get me far into a video either. So with that realization and an 8-minute stretch to make, what better way to get through it than by inviting my older brother in with some fresh alcohol ready to rip a lip, which if you fish, you already know.
Bro, why are you 80 feet? Why are you 12 feet
No
tall?
way.
That doesn't make any sense.
No way, this is tall. I'm so tall, right? I'm starting to feel it now. I know I'm starting to feel that shit now.
You look very concerned as you say that, like your avatar. You want to see a magic trick, dude?
Nope.
You ready?
Maybe.
You
Okay.
ready? Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3.
I watched your hand switch. That's crazy. One went over here, two went over there, two went. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of cool chick though.
Boom!
Yeah.
Mind blown.
Nice.
There we were, two young dumb Gilligans just waiting for a bite, but it wasn't as easy as I would have expected. I mean, yeah, at first you're put on the easiest setting, which does let you see all the fish in the water and target them pretty easily, but of course, me being stubborn and a southern outdoorsman, I wanted the full effect of expert mode, and maybe my brother was calling me out for being on easy mode, but nonetheless, I went full pro, reeling them in like it was nobody's business, until I would snag a big one, soon realizing my equipment was just too pleb for me to catch anything larger than like an average bass or something.
Just because I'm playing on expert doesn't mean you give me the hardest fish in the game every time, bro. You know? It's kind of crazy. I can't take him. I can't reel him in. He just jumps again and snaps it, man. I don't want him. I want this over here. Let me give me a regular fish. Just give me a regular fish.
Because you have to rank up, which means you have to release your fish. And of course, me being a fatty, I just want to eat all of them. So I wasn't even paying attention to that and just kept making money, but not having the rank to even buy the next tier items. So I was basically chasing my own tail, to say the least. Just watch out for that when you start, or you will end up in an awkward situation. Probably not as awkward as it is to have your headset battery die though. And for me, this usually isn't the case because I use a wired Vive headset almost all the time, but having to film this was a huge reminder. So thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Abaca, for hooking me up with one of the most necessary things I could have probably obtained for my mobile VR rig, a powered head strap, which allowed me to play an entire 6+ hours without even remembering that this thing was mobile. I'll go ahead and leave the link down below because, as always, I've personally tested this and it's by far one of the most useful and comfortable products I've had. Combining the comfort and usability is a pretty big deal for me. So again, thanks for this, and thanks to all of you viewers for making opportunities like this possible in the first place. Now, the amount of fishing locations this game has is kind of absurd. I should have gotten a complete count, but then again, I didn't buy all of the available DLCs because there are a handful, and from what I understand, plenty more on the way. And again, these maps are superb quality. Legit didn't find a single map that I can say I didn't enjoy. They're all good as far as I know, and the USA DLC that I bought was well worth it. I really enjoy how they break down float fishing from lure fishing, freshwater from saltwater, really giving you quite a bit of options and paths to carve out. I also quickly noted that when I was in the original South Korean map, when you change continents, you don't keep your rank, which at first I really didn't like, but I didn't let it bug me too much because honestly I was just biased and spent most of the time in the US anyway. On a random note, I wonder what a North Korean map would look like. Like, I imagine you just being ran down by guards for being too close to the wrong river or something, so you could never actually get to fish. But anywho, this is a game I really just did not want to keep for myself, although before I go, I will say part of me wanted to, and not because I didn't like the game. I obviously do, but something that really grinds my gears about some of these mobile VR-focused game developers is that, as I mentioned before, they completely reject the PC versions of their game, and while that might sound small to the majority of you because you are on Quest, this lack of PC support really hinders a lot. For one, PC VR only players can't join their standalone friends at all. This game sits on Steam VR with no release date and probably never will have a release date, just using free SEO to promote the game, and at that, a version you're not gonna get. From a content perspective, the footage you have to settle for when capturing from a Quest or using OBS to capture the browser stream is just abysmal, to say the least, and if you're on a phone watching this, you might not really realize it. But on a desktop, or referencing back to the rest of my uploads, you're gonna see a massive difference. No tool currently on standalone is coming close to competing with the recording quality that a high-end or even a mid-grade PC VR rig can produce. So yeah, maybe consider the people who've paved the way for mobile VR, the OGs who would love to see this game actually have a good PC version with crossplay. Until that day, I can't really say that I'll go out of my way to use my Quest for any one game, if I'm being honest, but that's just my 2 cents. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do what you will with the comments, hate mail, or whatever. Just know it's all appreciated, and every one of you are amazing. Goodbye.
Like that, man. Oh, I got a shark. I got a shark. It did that thing you said. Oh, he snapped my line. He just ate my You little thief.